Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Survive the Wild with me, Dan. So what have we got in store for today? Well, I thought I'd talk about slingshots. There's two sort of main types of slingshot. There's one if you go out and buy like this one here, which is the Barnett Black Widow, which is a bit of a classic. Now, you can get this type of slingshot where you just get the handle. This one, the Black Widow, comes with a wrist brace, or an arm brace, whatever you want to call it. And that is so that when you're drawing back, oh, we have a buzzard. So that's when you're drawing back, the pressure of you drawing back is then placed onto your arm, and it gives you a fairly steady shot. And a little bit less recoil when you fire. These I think sell for around £13 to £15 depending on where you look. We've got tube based bands. These are gold, and yeah, a good powerful slingshot. I have taken squirrel and pigeon with this, and yeah, not bad. Good first timer. Usually people, if they're going to buy one, they tend to buy this. I think it is one of the most popular, and it's been around for donkey's years. This is the second one I've had of these. I first bought one, might have been about 13, 14, something like that, maybe a bit younger. And yeah, good slingshot, certainly good for a beginner, I would say. And then you've got the sort of like more homemade style, or like a more of a traditional style of slingshot. Certainly one if you've read the Beano, and you know, you've seen Dennis the Menace, and tends to carry one of these. All this is a Y branch that's been taken obviously off a tree. Two bands, TheraBand. This is TheraBand Gold tapered, I think from 20 to 15 mil. And I tend to hold it like that. So just lightly with the fingers, and then the index finger and my thumb are taking the pressure. And yeah, that's quite a good one. And you aim basically very similar. You find a point, you know, you do a bit of practicing and you find a point. Usually I find the right fork, just sort of like either side of the right fork, depending on sometimes the distance. The further it is away, generally it tends to come closer to the centre, but it's always going to be sort of like within this half. And you know, some people fire holding left hand with the pouch and the slingshot in the right. Some people do it the other way around, like that. In general, I tend to find, for me anyway, this is more comfortable. There's no right or wrong way. All I would say is, no matter what slingshot you're using, you hold the pouch and you keep the pouch straight. So you don't bend to the left and you don't bend to the right when you're holding it, because that will affect the direction of where the ammunition is being fired. So and to go on to the ammunition, I use 9mm steel ball bearings. Now, some people will say 9mm isn't going to be enough. There's not enough mass there. There is. It's all about shot placement, and it doesn't really matter what size ammo you're using. You've got to aim for the head, and you've got to hit the head to get a kill shot. If you're using these for fun and game, if you're not, then it doesn't matter. You're probably, you know, you're better off going to be using something a bit smaller, maybe like a 6mm, for things like, you know, if you're using it for target practice or the target competition. which there's national competitions. I think there was a competition in my town, city, Sheffield, a few months ago, in fact. But yeah, these are the two main types. So let's give them a test and compare them. So I got off with the Black Widow to start with, and I've got an earth ball just on that rock. It's pretty close range, but it'll just give you a bit of an idea of so I actually even missed with that. I've not used this slingshot in quite a while, so it's probably going to take me a couple of shots to find the target. A bit high. There we go. Done at the third. So yeah, pretty good. That's fairly close range. Now let's compare that to the my homemade one, which I'm a little bit more used to. First go. So this is the Black Widow again. And now this is the homemade. And you can see, I'm getting all round there pretty much. Doing pretty well. So there we have it. The Black Widow and the homemade slingshot. And they both have the pluses and minuses. This one has the minuses for me more because it's bulkier, it weighs more. This is really lightweight, compact. I am going to have to change the bands on this one, I think, because it is getting a little bit, a bit more slack. Not much, but I'm noticing a difference. About 13 quid you can pick these up for. I have seen them more expensive. I've seen them on some people on eBay trying to flog them for like 25 quid, which is ridiculous. This one costs me like a couple of quid to make, but yeah, nice, lightweight, compact, fits in the pocket nice and easy. This one doesn't really fit in the pocket, or it would in like a large coat pocket, but by the time you've got that out, faffing around, pull it out, your quarry's going to be gone if you're using it for small game hunting. So that's the slingshots. In terms of legality here in the UK in using them, they are not under the UK Weapons or Offensive Weapons Act, so you can carry them around. That's not to say that if you were stopped and searched, the police officer would take it off you. It's a bit like having a knife, although you've got the two different types of knives. I'm not going to go into knives, but a police officer can still take a legal knife off you if he believes that the reason that you're carrying it isn't legitimate. So there is that to consider, but you can carry one with you. If it's in a bag, it's out of sight, then there's not going to be a problem, really. In terms of usage, ideally you need to be, it's the same with an air rifle or any sort of like air weapon. You have to be really and truly, you want to be on land with permission. You can, I have heard, and I'm not 100% sure on this, so don't quote me on it if you were stopped. I've heard you can use them on common land, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, so I wouldn't say go out onto common land and use it. Other things you've got to consider is, you know, when you're firing the ammunition, where is it going? Is it going to go over a public footpath, or is it going to go over onto, you know, someone else's land? Is there potential it's going to hit or damage property? So you know, there's those things you've got to consider. I mean, they're just common sense, really, at the end of the day. In terms of using them for small game, I believe you are limited to squirrel and wood pigeon. It's possible collared dove, but I think collared dove might now be in the Animal Welfare Act or Animal Protection Act, whereas squirrel and wood pigeon aren't. They're both considered pests. Wood pigeon, wood pigeon, particularly along, you know, farming communities out in the rural areas, and squirrel are a menace. Grey squirrel. Let's be definite on this. It's grey squirrel that is the pest, not the reds. Reds are protected by law. If you try shooting a red squirrel with anything, you're going to land yourself in a whole pile of doo-doo. So let's just be like 100% sure on that. Grey squirrels you're fine, red squirrels don't even consider it. And we need all the reds we can, and they need all the protection that they can, particularly from the greys. So, hope you have gained something from that. This is sort of like just a bit of me. I'm going to play around showing you the two different, or main different types of slingshot that, you know, that are commonly used. Just me doing a bit of target practice. I'm not going to confess and say, I'm going to confess I am not an expert in slingshots by far. There's people out there that are way better than I am. I know my limits in terms of accuracy in the range distance, so if I'm going out there and trying to get small game, which I do, you know, I've got a couple of places where I can go and do that, where, you know, a couple of farmers that own bits of woodland are more than happy for me to go and take out a few grey squirrels for them and wood pigeons. So yeah, but I, you know, like I say, I'm confident in my range of, you know, I'll take something within sort of like 20-25 metres. After that, it's sort of like, don't really bother. And let's put it this way, I've had more squirrels than pigeons. But anyway, so yeah, I hope you've taken something from this. If you've got any questions, ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. I know I've been a bit quiet on answering a lot of your comments over the last 3 weeks. I've been really busy. I've hardly been at home, which is nice. But yeah, I've not had a chance to be able to answer all your questions, so apologies on that. So anyway, I'll finish on a few shout outs. One to Konoma for donating the sheath that was for the 1,500 subscriber giveaway. That has been sent off to Canada because Walsh in the Woods won that. So well done to you. Darren, who has given me a light for my camera, so when I'm out filming, doing camp outs, I can light my scenes a bit better. And I've had a little play around that, and it's great, and it's awesome. Thank you very much for that. I'll feature that when, you know, next time I do a camp out. And Steve Butler, I heard you gave me a shout out recently, and you said that I inspired you to go and sleep in Robin Hood's cave. So glad to hear that. Glad you got out and you enjoyed that experience. And yeah. So there, you know, a few shout outs. Check out his channel as well, and check out Walsh in the Wood because he also runs a YouTube channel. I've just found him, so I've just subscribed and just been watching a couple of his videos, and there's some pretty good stuff there. And same with Steve. a little bit different to what I'm doing. He does a lot of bivvying and stuff, where, you know, I'm generally doing a lot of bushcraft, wild camping. I do quite a bit of all sorts, as you know. But yeah, check out his channel. I'm sure you'll like some of his videos. He's going off to Scotland and various places, and yeah, so that's going to be fun to watch both of those. So that just leaves me to say thanks for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. Looks like I had a big spate in numbers over the last few weeks. Might have something to do with the subscriber giveaway. But I hope you, to all the new subscribers, you know, I hope you're enjoying what you've seen so far. There's plenty of videos to watch, and I've got more coming up. What have I got coming up? I'm going to do a minimal camp out where I'll probably be taking what I can put in this, and I will be doing like a 24-hour camp out of that, plus the camera gear. But in terms of the camp, it'll just be what I can fit in there. So that's one to watch out for. I'm going to be doing that next week, all being well. Yes, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.